Happy hump day.
Hey Tracy, happy hump day.
How
You
are
look very
you?
smiley today.
Do
Bright.
I?
Love
Oh,
that colour on you. That's
thank
fantastic.
you.
Yeah, it's a really good
Thank
colour
you.
for you.
I try to stay with bright colors even though it's winter. I don't understand why the shops go dull colors.
Yeah,
Like the burgundies and the grays and the blacks and the color. I
blacks.
mean, and even like I guess they do the leaf, the autumny colors. Yeah, no, I just want bright colors.
It's good. It's lovely. Very
I
nice.
just like the fun.
So, have you got any news for us? I know you have.
Me? She's like, have you? Oh,
Tell
oh,
me.
oh, that. Oh, I had,
Yes. Oh, that.
oh, that. I had so much fun filming the ad
Filming.
campaign for a brand I cannot disclose at this time.
But a global
Um,
brand that everybody would know.
a global brand, and actually, yeah, I'll be going international.
Yeah.
So I guess I just have to hope that my part is popular, but I can't wait to see it. And I actually don't know how it will be. People keep asking me, why didn't you ask any questions? I didn't ask anything. Like, I don't know when it's
Let's
coming
just
out.
backtrack. You got selected to do a advert
I
for a
did.
global brand, and you've
Yeah.
never done anything like that. Well, you've done some
I did
kind of
extras
extra work,
work. Yeah,
yeah, but this is the first time you've done anything like this.
that's true. Thank you, Lu, for the recap. So for my first time, and I now officially can say I'm an actress.
Wow.
Even though I didn't have a single line. Yes, I will be appearing in ad, and it's an ad campaign. So I don't know if it's going to be on TV, maybe not, or
Yeah,
online. It might just be online, or I don't know,
yeah,
or it might be like digital ads on outside, like in bus stops. I have no idea.
yeah.
I did
Who
not ask.
knows?
Who
But
knows?
you're going to be out there.
But I'm going to be out there. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
soon enough. Mm.
So the whole process, you're
Mm.
obviously new to this. How did you find it, and what was, what did you enjoy about? Well,
I just
what did you enjoy, and what did you really not enjoy about?
Well, it satisfied my level of difference and sameness in the sense that it's completely different from anything I've done before or do
Yeah,
on a regular daily basis. Yes, I record videos for my business, but this is like not the same.
next level.
This is
Yeah,
next level. And meeting actors, like real actors, I wouldn't class myself as a real actor. And like this, directors and producers and the work that goes into it. So I find all that quite interesting. And I guess it's
yeah,
because it's novel to
yeah.
me,
New whole other
new.
world, isn't it?
It's a whole other world. And also talking to the actors and the extras. And there's people that have other day jobs, but have been doing this for like 10 years or plus, which I find really interesting. But to be fair, I really had fun. It was just a
Yeah,
whole fun experience. For me, I love to meet new people. It was meeting new people and being curious about their lives and what their
yeah,
aspirations were. So for me, that's what made it fun. And it was the easiest work I've ever done in my life. I'll be honest. I mean, the
um,
only inconvenience was that I was there for 11 hours.
yeah,
So it was a long day, but easy work, if I'm
yeah,
honest. I didn't have to speak. I just had to make some facial expressions and look around,
yeah.
you know.
And did you find it stressful, or were you anxious, or was it just like, okay, just
It's
embrace
just,
this experience?
I've done professional speaking training. I've kind of, been in that uncomfortableness before. I'm nervous. Like it was that kind of thing. Like you have to perform, you have to deliver a speech or
Yeah,
whatever. So it's that kind of nerves, but less so because I didn't actually have to speak. It was that kind of nerves, but just deep breaths and just be doing as I'm told, be in the
so,
moment. This is what he wants me to train. How would I be feel? Like literally imagining myself getting a great
yeah,
idea and what do I look? How do I feel? That kind of thing. Yeah, it was
yeah.
great. And I was like, oh, yeah.
So good.
And then I had a one moment where I
Very
was like,
proud of you.
where I was doing something, And I was thinking, this is so surreal. I had a moment of that. This is so surreal.
An out of body moment.
Out of
How
body
cool.
moment. But yeah, I'll keep doing it. As long as I can get jobs, I'll totally do
Yeah.
it. So much
How
fun.
cool. Did you feel any kind of, with the other people that were there, you said some of them have been doing this for like 10 years. Did you feel a little bit like, did they kind of welcome you into the fold? Or was there a little bit of like, oh, what's this girl doing here? Like, who's she?
No, I don't think so, because it's not like anybody really knew each other.
Yeah.
So it must be there must be just a lot of people doing it like that's, out there. I
Yeah.
reckon the extras would bump into each other more because like actors tend to not do the extras so much. Some do because I've met them, actors doing extras work, but no, I didn't get any antagonizing feelings from, me, no experience, just there for fun, to the
Yeah.
serious acting people that,
Yeah.
been to acting school, that acting coaches.
Yes.
No, I mean, this was just a little gig for them out
Yeah.
of many, whatever they do. Whereas for me, it was a fun day out.
Yeah. Yeah. Highlight of the week.
Highlight of the week. Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
So
cool. Well,
fingers
well done.
crossed. Fingers
Can't
crossed
wait to
there's
see it. I
a
should
bit more of
be
those.
keeping my eyes peeled now. More
Yes,
and
I will.
mm,
Mm. And what about
exciting.
your holiday, Missy?
Mm, wonderful. Yeah, I went to Greece, Santorini, and I've never been to Santorini before. I've been to Greece lots of times. Yeah, it's just beautiful, beautiful weather, amazing food, really beautiful people. Yeah, it was really nice. Welcome break. This is, like I said, this is the year where we're just treating ourselves to exploring
Nice.
around and about a bit more and
Mm,
enjoying being here in Italy, in Europe, and having access to all of that a lot easier than Australia, obviously.
obviously.
So yeah, it's good. So already thinking about our next trip.
That's what keep me going. I don't know where I'm going to get on holiday. If I get a few more ad campaigns and go on holiday.
I keep seeing things on my phone, on Facebook and on Insta for Bali, but not, well, not really Bali, Indonesia and some of the
Mm,
other islands around and about.
mm, yeah. Yes, so we'll
It's pretty close
see.
to you.
It is, yeah. They're pretty close, yeah. We'll see, we'll see. Lots to
Okay.
do, people to see. So
Good. Shall I make a start?
let's get stuck in.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a shocking story. I guess people in Australia would have picked up on this story, and it's in Women's Agenda. The title is Male Student Arrested After Deepfake Pornography Images of 50 Female Students Circulated Online. And basically, to summarize, it's a teenage boy from an elite private school called Bacchus Marsh Grammar. He's been arrested for creating and circulating deep fake sexually explicit images, which is just really awful to think about. The deep fake images AI generated, and obviously now AI is in the hands of, everyday people, and this guy's gotten hold of some software to be able to depict female students from the ages of 9 to 12.
Of the years
At,
9 to 12, I think. Not
yeah,
ages.
yeah.
So they weren't aged 9 to 12. They're in years 9 to 12. So
Oh,
that's
years 9 to 12. Yes, sorry. Yes, from years 9 to 12. Yes, as in terms of school years. So,
so what's that like?
um,
13 to 16 or 13 to 17?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so that's, would be like that secondary school age, wasn't it?
Mm,
The school's principal has condemned the incident as appalling and is said that taking the matter very seriously. Police have obviously been involved. And at this point, apart from the criminal side of this, they're also obviously taking care of the students that have been involved in terms of their well-being. A parent of a female student at the school said has described the deepfake images as graphic and disturbing. And she highlighted the impact on the affected students, including her own daughter, who has become very sick after seeing the images, like sick to the stomach, kind of, appalled at what they've been party to. And yeah, I was just going to highlight as well that this is not like it's not the first incident of this type of thing happening. There's also been an incident in May this year where a 15-year-old student from Salvation College Catholic Boys High School in Melbourne also used AI to generate sexually explicit images of a female teacher, which was reported in the Herald Sun. And the boy was expelled from that particular school. So this is all down in Victoria, Melbourne, Victoria area. And that state, so Victoria is the only state in Australia to criminalise the sharing of deepfake porn, but it doesn't seem to have deterred these particular individuals. And in 2022, the government made several significant reforms to the state's sexual consent laws, including this criminalising of AI-generated explicitly sexual imagery. And under the new laws, the offence of digitally superimposing a person's face into an intimate image without their consent is punishable by a 3-year sentence in jail. Yeah, good. And I think it says here as well in the article that the Attorney General, Mark Defray, introduced new federal legislation criminalising the sharing of deepfake. Yeah, it's pretty full on, and I can't believe, I can't believe that somebody's gone to the extent of 50 people. It's not just,
one.
Not that one is any better, but it just seems like an awful lot of investment of energy into what he's done.
I always wonder what's going through the heads. Are they hateful? Because to think you're doing this and it's not going to be harmful. I don't see how any teenager can imagine that that's the case.
Yeah, I can't really fathom this out for myself, because if it's that somebody's obsessive over pornography or whatever, then I don't understand the leap to then wanting to attach somebody else's head onto that image.
Well, not 50 of someone.
Attaching that person's head is to do with an anger or a hate towards that person. I don't know. It just seems kind of scary that a 15-year-old boy could be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But imagine, you, me, anyone, our privacy is invaded, and just the content itself, it would make you sick, wouldn't it, to the stomach?
Well, yeah. I mean, we all put our images out there. I mean, a lot of people do put their images out there on social media and everything, but you hope that you've got some kind of control over your image, but we actually don't. Yeah. It is really scary because these deep fakes can be so realistic. Have you seen those ones on Facebook where they use a famous person? Jennifer Aniston seems to be a target a lot of the time, but they use a famous person, but they're promoting something that's absolutely nothing to do with that person. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, maybe
but
I have seen one.
Speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the deep fake, it's their voice, it's their lips moving and everything, but they, are promoting something that's, nothing to do with them. Yeah. And that I don't understand in that case how Facebook allows that to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a strange thing for me that Facebook or even on any of the other social media channels can just, that's fine for that to deceive people in that way. And then for the, for the likes of Jennifer Aniston, how they are, their images are being used to promote something that they've got nothing to do with.
It's just the darker side of technology.
Yes.
That can be abused. And then there'll be probably people going, we need to, you can't ban all social media. I know people would like to. But for me, it's always people say, I know people, the reason they don't use social media is because of these kind of things, right? And that's okay. But I mean, there's also that fact that it's people that are doing the behavior. It's not the technology, it's the people. Just like, the technology has positive use, entertainment, education, and lots of things. But it's the people and what's going on in the world where young men think it's okay to do this. And it's like another abuse. It is literally abuse, isn't it? It's abusing women. I personally see it.
Like abusing and exploiting. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's just
abuse, and it's scary.
It's something that is still creating the idea that it's okay to do that to women.
You don't really hear of women doing deep fakes on men in pornographic ways.
No, on male doodles, no.
I'm just like,
and when the doodles are no, not interested.
No thanks.
Yeah,
it's just like, what? It just blows my mind. It scares me that young men still have this mindset. Not all of them, but some that it's still a thing.
That women are fair game. And that it's just, but I mean, who knows what's going through his head? Does he think it's a bit of a laugh? Like you said before, does he have something, like, is he angry in some way at those specific women? It's a lot of women to be angry at, if it is. But very odd. I don't think it says in the article exactly, anything else about, I mean, obviously police have intervened.
He was arrested, but he's been released. I heard that it's still a big thing in the news. So he was released. He's a teenager. I don't know what's going to happen, but it should be more than being expelled.
So over in Australia, what's the kind of the feeling? What's the chit chat?
I don't know, because this is the first time I've talked about it.
Right.
I saw it on the news maybe 1 night, 2 nights ago. And this is like the first time I've talked about it with anyone. It's just, there's so many things about this that piss me off. It goes to a good school, an elite private school. I don't think he's going to see any jail time. And yet we've got Indigenous children in jail for like breaking curfew or verbally abusing police or throwing stones at a window or whatever, vandalism. And I'm not saying any of those things are okay, but they're doing jail time, and then you get something that like this that I consider far more serious.
It's very disturbing, And
that kid's probably not going to jail, let's be honest. Maybe I'm cynical. I'd be happy to be wrong about it, but we'll see.
Let's see. But it is really sickening, isn't it?
It is very sickening.
But that seems to be like the latest news on that. Maybe we can find out what else happens in future with that.
Maybe we'll hear about it again. So in this story, and this story is covered in quite a few news outlets. So I'm just going to read this from The Guardian. And the title is Indigenous singer Emma Donovan alleges entire taxi rank refused to serve her at Perth Airport. So Perth, Western Australia, and Emma Donovan is like quite a famous singer in Australia. She's a soul singer, and she happens to be Indigenous Australian. So that's kind of the background. And there's a picture of Emma Donovan, and she's a beautiful lady, and she's got skin color similar to mine, and her hair is quite similar to mine in terms of the curly, afro-y thing going on. And she's Indigenous Australian. I'm a British African Australian. Is that a thing? I just made it a thing. So really, it just disturbs me that this happened last week. So it says, acclaimed soul singer claims multiple drivers refused to take her home on Friday night, with one allegedly saying he didn't serve her kind of people.
Wow.
Yeah. So she alleged she was refused service by multiple taxi drivers at Perth Airport, with one driver saying, Donovan, who'd flown to Perth after launching her album, Till My Song Is Done, in Melbourne. So she's from Melbourne to Perth, She wrote on Facebook that she was writing in tears and anger after all the drivers argued between themselves over which one of them would take her on Friday night. She says, I know this wasn't because of a short fare, because that's happened to me a few times. I know this was racism as it's at its finest. So Donovan was traveling from Perth Airport to the suburb of Victoria Park, approximately 12-kilometer journey. She did not identify which company or companies the drivers worked for, but she did share images of their registration plates. Donovan told The Guardian that she felt she had to speak up. I can't be sitting there in silence as I did the nights I was trying to get my cab. I approached the cab rank and the first car did not want to take me. He asked me where I was going. I said, Vic Park. And he said, no, I'm not going to take you. The whole cab line was full. There were 11 or 12 cars lined up. By this time, the second car didn't want to take me. I'm standing there going, what do I do? Is someone going to take me? They all got into a bit of an argument trying to work out who wanted to take me. No one would. Donovan said she was reduced to tears when she asked the second driver in the line why he refused to take her to her destination. She says, I was upset by this time. I said, what have I done to you that you don't want to take me? I don't know what to do here. I just need a lift home. I was pretty much made to feel invisible. That was the feeling I got. One of them made a comment that they don't take my kind of people. And that was when I started to cry and I got upset. Donovan said one driver tried to direct her to the rank at the international terminal. Eventually, another passenger queuing for a cab offered Donovan a ride with them. Can you imagine that? I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, and the 12-kilometer ride, that's not a short fare.
No.
So wouldn't even, you know what I mean? It's not, you can't even put it down to that at all.
And it's not even that long. It's not like too far either. It's kind of an average.
Yeah, it is. So that's really shocking that this would happen. I mean, obviously she's famous, she's known in Australia, but that aside, like, it just shouldn't be happening at all.
Shouldn't be happening at all.
You know, she's female traveling by herself, it's nighttime. You'd think all of these things would trigger some kind of human response in these people, if nothing else, you know?
It's unreal. And then, I mean, famous, not famous. They obviously didn't know she was famous. Maybe they didn't know who she was, but even if it doesn't matter, does it really?
No.
Shouldn't have made any difference. And a spokesperson for WA, which is Western Australia, Department of Transport, told The Guardian it does not tolerate racist behaviour by on-demand transport drivers. And under WA legislation, there are legitimate grounds for a driver to refuse service. These include reasonable grounds to believe that the passenger poses a genuine threat to the driver's safety, abusive or aggressive behaviour, or the passenger being under the influence of alcohol or drugs to the extent that they are likely to soil the vehicle or become abusive or aggressive. None of these grounds for refusal are met. Drivers can be hit with penalties up to $3,000. All these drivers need to be hit with that penalty. Taking the piss.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Department of Transport encourages people who wish to make a complaint to, in the first instance, make direct contact with the relevant on-demand booking service. And then it just goes on about how to complain, and she did. And she's also going to complain further to the Equal Opportunity Commission. She said it's not her first experience of racial profiling, having previously been refused taxi service at Sydney Airport here as well.
Wow, okay.
She also referred to the experience of the late Indigenous actors, Jack Charles and Ningali Lawford Wolf, both of whom have been refused taxi services in the last decade. And this lady, she's been performing for 25 years. She's got albums, and actually she's performing this weekend in Sydney. You know, she's been nominated for prizes as well as various ARIA awards. You know, she's won accolades. And I'm saying all this, I'm like, so, you know, not to take away from what she's accomplished, but even if she's John Smith
off the street,
off the street.
Yeah, but it is more that she's an accomplished person. She's, you know, she should know how to catch a cab,
Yes.
and how, I guess behave in public, etc. So yeah, well, hopefully she'll get a cab for her singing date this weekend in Sydney.
Mm.
But yeah, because what also is strange about this is because a lot of cab drivers, and maybe not in Perth, but definitely in Sydney, they are immigrants, aren't they? A lot of the cab drivers. So, if they started to refuse to take, white people in their cabs, I mean, there would be an uproar, wouldn't there? But yeah, it's really like puzzling as to.
I know, but I mean, immigrants are racist against other people, and that's a reality. I just can't. I mean, I have been refused taxis. I generally assume it's because they don't want the fare, like where I'm going.
Yeah.
It's not, they don't want to go home and it's in a different direction, or it's too short. Too short, I've had a lot. I've had like Uber cars. I've had like 2 Ubers cancel on me, which is really annoying when you're, at night
That's
time on your own.
Yeah, it's just
waiting.
the fare. They've gotten a better fare.
Yeah.
So I'm actually remembering something about Uber. I think there was an Uber driver that got into trouble. I can't remember where it was. Got into trouble for not accepting a disabled person, like saying that they didn't have the, facility to take a disabled person. I remember reading that at some point.
Really? Oh, actually, you just reminded me of another thing I saw. I was at a hospital in Melbourne, waiting for my Uber, and then it was a taxi. Actually, it wasn't an Uber, and it was at the children's hospital. And this woman with her baby coming out of the children's hospital. She was on her own, so she had the baby. She had a pram. She was holding the baby, and the pram, the pram was up. This taxi driver was literally going like, "It's not going to fit. It's not going to fit in my boot."
Yeah.
All prams fit in boots unless there's other things in the boot, or unless you're driving.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Justin's sister's got a Toyota Corolla, and she manages with 2 babies.
Yeah. So she's holding the baby, and she can't maneuver to put the pram down because she's got the baby.
Yeah.
And this taxi, I was just watching, and I'm thinking, this useless. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah.
This useless taxi driver is literally shaking his head, refusing to take, because he's saying this won't fit. So my colleague, went over, did the pram, put it all down, put it in the boot. I'm like, oh my goodness. Or even take the baby if you don't know how to do the pram thing. But you don't stand there going, oh, I'm sorry, it's not going to fit. At the children's hospital with sick kids, and just
go somewhere else. You don't go to the children's hospital daily. You idiot.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is going on? Anyway.
Well, yeah, I suppose, I don't know whether we'll get to the bottom of this story with Emma Donovan.
If that happened to me, I would be crying my eyes out as well. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, to be told when there's 11 or 12 cars, go to the international terminal. I mean, really? Yeah. Well, hopefully actually they just get fined and they get booted off the airport.
I'm just hope they lose the license.
Can't come on the airport because we have too many I
think the minimum thing is they shouldn't be allowed to do pickups from the airport.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or I definitely think they should get the fine.
A different skin color, don't go to the airport, basically.
Unreal.
Okay, we're ready to move on.
Yes, please.
Have a happier story. What was the other toy company that you
Mattel.
Mattel, yes, we talked
and
about
I remember them because they've done a few things that I'm very, very shout out.
Shout out to Mattel, yes. Well, I want to shout out to Lego because Lego now is selling Braille bricks for helping, I guess, blind and visually impaired people to learn with play. And the way that the Braille bricks work is that they are designed like Braille, so the bumps that you get on Braille, but they're on the Lego brick. And they also have the letter printed on the Lego brick. So people with full sight and people with visual impairments can play together. And so the Braille bricks that are Lego, so you can actually use it with other Lego as well, which I think is really clever. It's not like it's a specific set of bricks that can't be kind of used with other Legos. So blind and partially sighted children can then build and play and learn Braille. And I just think it's a really clever idea. I'm like thinking, why has this not happened before?
I know. Nobody thought of it. And then it seems really obvious.
Yeah, it seems really obvious. Yeah, of course Legos should be like Braille. Yeah, so it says here that so this is from Martin Abel Williamson, president for the World Blind Union, said, for the blind community, Braille is not just for literacy, it's our entry to independence and inclusion into this world. And to have Lego Braille bricks made available for wider public is a massive step forward to ensuring more children will learn to learn Braille in the first place, and obviously learn to play with Lego. Until now, Lego Braille bricks have been distributed free of charge by Lego Foundation to organisations specialising in the education for children with vision impairment. And Lisa Taylor, a mother of 2 daughters, 7 and 4, says that Olivia, so that's one of her children, first discovered Lego Braille bricks at school. They had such a big impact on her curiosity for Braille. Before then, she found it hard to get started with the symbols. We can now play with Braille together as a family, and she can introduce Braille to her little sister in a way they both love.
Oh,
Braille bricks are accessible for her without being really different for the other kids. So she gets to play and learn just like every other child, which is just really cool. I really like that as well. Like, it's just Lego, it fits with other Lego. You can play with full-sighted friends. I like that it's fully inclusive and it's not been like created as a whole separate, set of bricks. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. I guess maybe if you really can't see, if you're fully blind, you can't see the colours and the shapes, and maybe they correlate to the colours and the shapes, like all the same colour has the same letter, and I don't know exactly, but that would how you would know to build what to build or what to put with what, if you're building.
Yeah, how would you know what
or is
to
it
build?
like to learn, or is it literally to learn the alphabet? That feeling is A, that feeling is B, and that feeling is C, and so on.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like the big intention, is to help people learn Braille, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, with the Lego shapes.
Mm.
But yeah, then to be able to build like build and play like other children do. But I guess partially sighted or blind kids would learn shapes by feel, wouldn't they? So
Yes, totally. But I mean, it's more the color, because you're building, there's different colors and you're building something. I don't know. You wouldn't know the color unless it had a physical marking.
Yeah.
I wonder how they do that, get around that. I don't know if they do, but
yeah.
I love that story. That's so beautiful.
The Lego group has also, in addition to this, they partnered with a mobile app called Be My Eyes. The popular app connects blind and partially sighted people with companies to help with everyday tasks through a live video call. I've heard about this before. Have you heard about it?
No, what's this? No, I've not heard of it.
I thought it was like a volunteer type thing. So you as a full-sighted person can sign up, and then you partner with a partially sighted or blind person. So if they have and you like on a video call with them.
Yeah.
So you help them in their home. So it's like having home help, but virtually, I guess.
Right.
So to help them with everyday and assist them remotely with everyday tasks. I have heard about that app before, but I've never seen exactly, a demo of it or exactly how it works. But I guess, yeah, so that, people with difficulty seeing don't have to have somebody physically with them all the time.
That's a really good. It's called Be My Eyes.
Be My Eyes, yeah, it's a free mobile app. Really like that one.
Nice.
But yeah, it reminds me, because years ago I did some voluntary work for an organisation in the UK that helped with partially sighted and mostly elderly people that were losing their sight. But I was only young. I think I was only about 22 or something. And it really, pardon the pun, opened my eyes to just the challenges that people have when they start to lose their sight and how little things can make such a big difference. So we were kind of raising money to supply people with even basic things, like telephones with big buttons on them.
Yeah.
And like really, so like I said, for partially sighted people to help make things a lot more accessible for them and to make them still kind of included and feel included in normal everyday life.
Yeah.
I really like
it. Just reminded me of there's a documentary in the UK again. They need something like this here because I know it's stuck in my head forever. People, you need to trim your bushes. What do I mean?
Which bushes are we talking about here?
Well, this documentary, right, it's about how the challenges that people were not nearsighted, people that were partial sighted or no sight face the everyday challenges. And I'll never forget this. A blind person with the white stick walking on the pavement and people's hedges just sticking out into the pavement. Now, me and you would just kind of take a wider walk around that. But the blind person, they're right in it, in the face. They can actually get hurt. Maybe minor, but hurt. Scary. It's a scary thing. And that every time I walk past bushes that's sticking out, I get angry. I'm like, trim your bushes.
Yes, trim your bushes, people.
Trim your bushes, people. Because there's people that can't see these things.
Oh, too funny.
Yeah.
There's an amazing guy, actually. I'll have to try and remember this for next time. He's blind, but he uses sound to basically create a picture of the world, a 3D picture. And he's even able to like cycle on a road. Yeah.
No.
It was on a podcast, an ABC podcast that I was listening to a little while. I'll look it up for next time. It's amazing. The guy is so inspirational, but it's kind of like he's created his own sonar.
I've heard of that.
Like, so it clicks. What he like
clicks, and then
but he's so good at it. He can
tell. I've heard of that.
It's really good. I'll look it up for next time.
I really think that when people's are restricted in some ways, it emphasizes other things, strengthens other things. I was listening to this thing and it's kind of funny. Basically saying the purpose of humanity is to grow, and we grow through pain. So to think you're going to have a lovely life where nothing bad ever happens and never have any challenges, that is human. That's what being human is. But I put it in this really funny story, but it's too long for me to tell. But that's what human life is. And you can either sit there and cry when shit happens, or you can learn and grow and move on and be even more resilient, be even better than who you were before. And I'm just going to always remember that. And I do, because I know it sucks at the time, whatever it might be happening, but remembering that is important. And whatever it takes to get out of that, which we've all been there. You're allowed to wallow, but make it short. You're allowed to feel bad. You're allowed to feel that, but then you need to move on from that and find a way. The story was funny, but anyway. But this man, I just think these stories are just epitomes of people that have done that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just inspirational.
So inspirational.
Of course, who knows? Maybe he was born with really good hearing anyway. Everybody's individual, but still an amazing achievement and feat that he can do that. Around and awesome. I will definitely bring it to next time's.
Definitely, because I think I remember seeing something like that about the sonar thing. People doing that to figure out where things are spatially. So that's just amazing. Let's do that. Cool. All right. Well, I love the Lego story. I thought it was beautiful. Yay, Lego. Well done.
Yeah, well
something like
done.
that.
Yeah. It's really good.
Want to hear more innovative solutions for inclusivity, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. So
Exactly.
what would you do?
Oh yeah, really forgot. What would you do? Wow.
What would you do?
What would you do? Do you have one for me, or do I? Have I?
All right, I'll just wing it. Okay. The Emma Donovan story, I think is, something that could happen just genuinely to the likes of us. So I'd be interested to understand what you would do in her situation. So we've kind of talked about it. It's quite clear. She walked up to the taxi rank after getting off a flight. There's 11 or 12 cab cars there, and the first one's refusing to take her. The second one is refusing to take her. What would you do at that point after you've got two negatives, no, and no real actual solid reason as to why? And then one of them actually says to you, I don't take your kind, or something. What does he say?
Don't take your kind, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean this happens to me if I see it happening to someone else?
No, if this was you.
Well, yeah, you're right. It could be me. Like, could be the fact that it could be me tomorrow is scary.
Yeah.
I think I've never thought I'd ever say these words, but I think my common northern accent works for me here in the sense that it identifies me. Yeah. Otherwise, I could easily be Indigenous, Pacific, African, I've had South American, anything until I open my mouth, and then it's obvious, I personally think. So, it might be worth me having some voice lessons and learning some different accents. Because I could be whoever I want, clearly.
Yeah,
except for white.
Be all part of your acting education.
Yeah. So I have had situations where I've been treated unfairly because I've been Black, or that I perceive that's why. So I can identify with that feeling of, why is this happening to me? This is not fair, and I can't believe, that incredulous, like, is this really happening? What am I going to do? You can feel like invisible. No, and nobody, people are seeing it and nobody's saying anything or helping. What am I going to do? Completely baffled. And the hurts, and then there'll be anger.
Yeah.
I probably angry, shouting, crying all at once. Angry, shouting, crying all at once. And especially if you, like, in that scenario, maybe like that's a kind of a long flight. It's not international, but Melbourne to Perth, what, 6 hours?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
6.
Yeah, 5, 4, 5, 6, yeah, depending on the week.
Usually you're flying, you get off a bit tired, you're more sensitive than anyone. I mean, that's kind of irrelevant, but I could imagine if I got on off a plane from UK to Australia and then you just want to go home, and I'd cry. I totally would cry. It's just whether I cry and I would go down to every single car.
Yeah, I think that's kind of
the
story that she didn't kind of continue, but who knows what kind of mindset she was in. But I think I'd want to say something. I mean, I think I've become more outright indignant about things. I think I'd want to say, is it because of my color? And call them out.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation. I mean, she doesn't talk anywhere in here in the article about feeling threatened. Obviously, if I felt I was threatened, I wouldn't.
No.
I would just cower and try and make myself disappear. But if I wasn't feeling threatened, I would definitely want to just call it out. And why not?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think I could do that, but it depends. When I've talked before, there's certain things that you've done the work on and you're over, and they just don't trigger you. And I'd like to. There's a lot of things, and right now in my life, don't trigger me. But I don't know about outright, in your face racism. I don't know. That might still be a button for me.
Right.
If I'm honest, I can't say. I mean, the last incident I had was maybe a few years ago now, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, with a friendish making a joke about the color of my skin, and I was really, really triggered. And it was so triggered. So this is the thing. when we're all triggered, we either it's fight, flight, or freeze. And in that moment I froze, as in I didn't know what to say. I was just like this. Sometimes it just depends. Sometimes I'm like, fight. Did you just say this? What did you say? What does it mean?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
checking,
Yeah.
or I just
What did
get
you
out
mean
of
by
there.
that?
Yeah. Or if I feel threatened, then it'll probably get out of there.
Yeah, that's right. It depends on the situation, doesn't it? But yeah, I am feeling like more and more as the years pass. I don't feel like so much triggered anymore. I feel more like I need to set this right, not for me so much, but for the next person that comes along. Because I'm feeling like I don't care so much about this stuff anymore. Like, I know I'm me. I don't need validation from other people. If you like me, you don't like me for whatever reason, that doesn't, it's more like I feel like, no, you shouldn't be, it's more, you shouldn't be the right and wrong of it. You shouldn't be treating people
absolutely.
like this. Yeah.
I mean, I'm the same. What I have found is, as in, these things tend not to bother me anymore. Somebody could just come out around the corner and, shout some offensive stuff and it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, exactly.
The difference is when it's somebody you know.
Yeah.
Like this person, I knew them and they were serious. It was a joke, but it was a joke to offend. And then, or over a family member. So that's when it hurts, I guess. Because, and this is the thing, because you expect to feel safe around those types of people. Yeah. You expect to feel safe around certain people. And so you've got a level of vulnerability and openness with them. And then there's other people you don't know and you don't have that kind of expectation. So that's why it's really matter. But yeah, anyway, that's how I personally feel that it can work sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Well.
Well, thank you for that, Alicia.
Yeah.
What would you do?
No
Now we
worries.
know.
Now we know,
Now we
exactly.
know.
Right. What have you got planned for this week?
I am going to pop the time machine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Tomorrow night, hot dub. Hot dub.
Who are you going with?
Holly and Claire.
Oh, love it.
So Hot Dub Time Machine is a DJ, international DJ, and his thing is time machine, and he goes through all the decades with all the music from the decades, all the hits and dance music from the decades, from like 50s up to noughties or whatever.
Where is he?
He's at Entertainment Choir tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's been going years.
He's been going years. This is like the third time I've seen him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like I got my dancing shoes.
I'm sure you and Holly are going to have a blast.
I'm going to have a blast.
I just know it.
What about you?
Well, the weather's looking shite.
Oh.
We like to go outdoors at the weekend. We were planning a barbecue with some friends, but I don't know. Looking sketchy. We'll see. We will see. Yeah.
Well, it's pissing it down. Cats and dogs here, so.
You got winter. This is summer. Summer's a late starter here this year. By last time this year, we were already like, oh, it's too hot, and the fans were on and everything, but not happening this year. It's a late one.
Okay. Oh, well. All right. Well, I'll speak to you next time.
All right, hon. Thank you. Good to talk to you and chat to you soon.
Chat to you soon. Bye.